Hi guys, welcome back to the shack, and tonight I'm going to be touching on a topic that some of you have asked me about ever since I showed you that I had the kit, and that is the xTool screen printing kit. When I got this thing, a lot of folks were asking me, can you engrave these canvases or screens with other machines? And xTool advertises that you can. It's versatile. It can be used with any diode laser. Of course, I'm sure they prefer you use theirs, but Brandy has made a request for some more screens be done for her printing that she's doing. And unfortunately for her, the S1's currently awaiting a little bit of a fix. So we're going to be using the Roly Lasermatic MK2 to do the project today. And we're going to test the theory that xTool says you can do it with any diode laser. We're going to at least see if we can do it with this one. So if that's something you're into, stick around and we're going to get started. All right, guys, so one of the things about using these screens that you have to do is xTool sends you a little jig that goes either for the D1 or for the S1 that connects to these little like indentions in the frame here to kind of hold things still. So that's kind of a requirement if you're going to be doing these screens, especially if you're going to be trying to do multicolored where you have to have several different designs, but you want them to be exactly on top of each other. That's something that you have to have repeatability. You have to have that thing locked in there in place so that it can't move to be able to create those multiple layers on the different canvas frames. So what we're going to be doing today, guys, is, as you know, when I got my MK2, I also got the jig panel that comes with the MK2. And with a little bit of creativity, using some of the Lasermatic's factory little fittings there, as well as some Clack Shack DIY acrylic adapters that I've made, I fashioned myself a little jig for my jig panel to hold these screens in place. Now, I've been doing some testing and I'm trying to come up with good settings to be able to do this with. And I think I found the settings. Everything appears to be working, and I'm just going to kind of walk you through the process and show you how this is going to go on. Now, been some issues, so some of this video is just put together due to a camera failure from earlier. But let's get started. All right, guys, so the way this works is I've got my little brackets to where it grips the bottom piece of this frame, and then I've got two little pieces that hold either side. So what that's going to do is that's going to make sure this thing can't move any direction other than straight up. So I'm going to go ahead and take and lay it in here, and just going to show you how it sits in there. It sits in there nice and tight. Doesn't allow for any movement. No matter which way I try to move this thing, it can't move. And like I said, that is critical when you're doing these screens, especially multicolored. Like I said, guys, you can see where I've been doing a little bit of testing, and I came up with the settings that I need to use for the burn. And we're just going to kind of piece this video together, so bear with me if sometimes it looks like we've traveled in time. We kind of have. But that's the setup. And so I'm going to switch over to the video that I did earlier on the computer, which I did get, and show you the process when it comes into here. All right, so while I was doing my testing, Brandy did come in, and we did determine that the chances are this small text down here is not going to make the trip onto the canvas, and if it does, it's probably not going to be that visible. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that little bit of text down there. If I can remember exactly how I grouped all of this. There we go. So I'm just going to drag me a little reverse box to try to select all of this without getting the little peaches over on the right side. And see if we can get rid of that. All right, got rid of most of it. So we'll come back across here. So we're gonna lose that, and we're gonna go ahead and drop the bottom part of this right here as well. That way, that real fine text, it just doesn't do a real good job on screen printing. We found that out using Brandy's logo from her work. So I think I'm gonna just go ahead and put this one at the bottom, and we've got more screens and stuff, so we'll just make this our peach jam one here. And I'm gonna put this one kind of up towards the top a little further. All right. Now I've taken the settings that we got and moved them into my library. So now I can just take this, because this is where I landed, 200, 100, and all that. So I'm just going to go over here, select this, and click assign, and now that should change this to 200 LPI. So we should be good now. And just going to go ahead and frame that just to be certain. Wouldn't hurt to come off of that bottom rail just a little bit. We'll just bring it up, bring both of them up just a little. There we go. I keep forgetting there's a pretty good bit of the material up here still. So there we go, and we'll get back with you shortly, guys. All right, guys, so that was the testing that I did, and I come up with these settings, and like I said, then I tried it on the frame that we're going to be actually using in the printer, and I'm going to show you how that came out. So I was a little nervous at first, but what I've been doing with these guys is after you engrave them, I'll hit them with a little bit of water in a spray bottle and then wipe it with a cloth, and then take the air hose and kind of blow through there to get any kind of just dust or debris out of the screen. But here's the final result. I'm going to try to get this thing to where you can see the light through it. So I'm going to be moving it around. But the results are pretty awesome, and turned out really nice. So I think that's going to be definitely my go-to settings. I'm running about 200 millimeters a second at 100% output with a 200 LPI, and I'm getting nice, clean engraves through the screen without causing any damage to the screen or changing color or anything. So that worked out pretty well. All right, guys, so it'll probably be a few days before Brandy gets around to doing the items that she picked up yesterday at Hobby Lobby, but she's got a couple of bags, some shirts, and I think she even got a onesie for a little kid. So those are going to be interesting to see, especially with these designs. These designs have a lot of really, really small detail to them, and from my experience, I'm not real sure these logos are going to work, but I didn't design the logo, and like I said, as small as we're making it, that could be a problem because those tiny little pinholes may or may not allow a lot of the ink to go through. But we'll see, and stay tuned to the channel for more. As soon as she gets through the shirts or the bags and all that stuff, I'll try to do another follow-up video and we'll look at the results. But for those of you that want to know, can you engrave the xTool screens with another diode? Yes, you can, and more specifically, if you have the MK2 with the jig panel, a little bit of retrofitting some of your own little jigs there, and it works really, really well. So I just wanted to share that with you guys and pass that on, and hopefully that answers the questions for the ones of you that have been messaging me about it. So until next time, guys, be safe and have a good day. We went to Home Depot.